35-year West Bend East social studies teacher, father of 3 West Bend East graduates, stepfather of 2 West Bend West graduates, and a stepdaughter about to begin her sophomore year at West Bend West. So it'd be an understatement to say I have a vested interest in the West Bend School District. As I reflect upon my own high school experience, I graduated from Abbotsford High School, all 250 students. There were 65 students in my graduating class. We had one principal, Mr. Casada. Not only did he know us by name, but he knew our parents by name, their occupations, and on most days he knew what we had for dinner the previous evening. With small town living came recognition, primarily a blessing, but it could be a curse if you ever got into trouble. West Bend isn't a small town, it's a city of over 30,000, and with 2,400 students in the high school, it's quite easy for students to go unrecognized. There's an old adage, students don't care what you know unless they know you care. I believe that, and as a parent support the decision to return to separate head principals for West Bend East and West Bend West. Why? Because it works better than our current system and it's better for kids. The decision 5 years ago to change to 1 principal and 5 assistant principals was a classic case of a solution in search of a problem. The community did not solicit the change. The high school staff did not solicit the change. The previous administrator put forth the change, and the plan was approved by the school board as a precursor to an attempt to consolidate the schools, an attempt that failed miserably due to lack of community support. But yet we continue to live with 1 principal leading both schools. Although it may be hard for some to understand, I'm telling you that putting 3 people in charge of 1,200 students is better than putting 6 people in charge of 2,400 students, even though the ratio in both cases is 1 to 400. With our current administrative configuration, we have lost the distinct West Bend East, West Bend West feel that used to exist. We have some talented young administrators at the high school, and I applaud them for trying to make the system work, but it makes it harder for them to know their students, and it makes it harder for their students to know them. Buildings don't last forever, so someday the community may get the opportunity to create 2 totally separate high schools. Until that day comes, we must live with what we have, 2 high schools in 1 building, but each high school should have its own leader. If the day comes that Slinger and Hartford agree to share a principal, or Nicolay and Whitefish Bay agree